Hi there, welcome to Tarot Land Soap Opera. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Cancer energy. I don't have my tripod with me back home, but I have really good internet, so I'm going to get some tarot stories uploaded. The top row is going to be high vibe Cancer energy. We have the thief, the courthouse, imprisonment, the main male, message of concern, and pathway. And keep in mind, I'm going to read these cards just like I do tarot. The masculine in tarot can be how we present ourselves to the world and maybe the action that we take in the world. And we all take action in masculine energy. And the feminines in tarot will talk more about our emotional state. In shadowy Cancer energy, we have the child, distant horizons, change, mature woman, sudden wealth, community, because of privileged lady. Okay. So, kind of what can happen within ourselves is kind of what happens kind of in the world and what we align with. If some people were feeling imprisoned by their own shadow nature of fear, insecurity, self-limiting beliefs, because the thief can represent like our shadowy nature of ego. High vibe people debated within themselves in the courthouse card if they wanted to keep staying imprisoned by their fear, their insecurities, their lack of confidence in themselves, or their addictions, or their lust, or their greed, or their more indulgent, immature nature. Everybody has different things that are a problem for them. And the high vibe people decided to take action in the world and in their life to connect in with themselves emotionally, to go on a pathway of hope and faith and belief in themselves. They learned to get balance between their worldly nature and their more emotionally and creative, inspired, loving, intuitive nature so that they could be balanced within themselves and move forward in life, being balanced and aligned within themselves based on love, not letting their worldly nature, more of pride or ego or fear or insecurity, run their life. They connected in with their more divine nature, because in the world, we're kind of like an animal, and we see in the news all the time about people who are acting like animals in the world, right? They're assaulting and hurting and abusing other people in the world. People completely disconnected from their more divine nature of love and hope and faith and compassion and patience and gentleness and self-discipline. We have to temper our more worldly nature because we can all have a desire to want to be selfish and greedy and self-centered in relationships and make it all about us and our wants, our needs, our lust, our greed. And if we don't want to be like spoiled brats in a relationship and we want to be in a relationship with other people, we have to be balanced and we have to temper our more egoic nature. Not to say that any of you are like that, but everybody at some time, in order to get on the path of being balanced and being able to be just and fair in relationships where you treat other people the way you want to be treated and you treat people with respect and you're patient and you're kind and you try to see things from other people's perspectives, you have to go through that inner battle within yourself. You have to learn to love yourself. You have to learn to fill your own cup emotionally. When you fill your own cup emotionally and you're not operating anymore out of fear and insecurity and lack of self-worth, you can give freely to others. And so people who did that work are balanced within themselves and they're moving forward in their life. You could have been needless, we come across all sorts of different people in our life. You could have been in relationship then with some people in your life, because when you don't know your worth and value and you're not loving yourself and believing in yourself and treating yourself with compassion and love, and you have some issues of insecurity or codependency or whatever, not believing in yourself, there's all sorts of people that would like to take from you and indulge in a relationship with you. And they could have wanted to imprison you, keep you in your fear and insecurity and your codependency, because they aren't someone who wants to go down that pathway. They don't want to be more just and fair in a relationship. They like to take in a relationship. You give to me, I take. And you are feeling maybe trapped in those relationships. So you did the work emotionally to be able to maybe distance yourself from those people, just like you had to distance yourself from your pride, your ego, your fear, your codependency, whatever, in order to move away. When you do that work within yourself with your own fear and insecurity and ego, sometimes people in the world just represent, they're like human beings who represent your shadow nature. And when we're not aligned with our more loving, intuitive, creative, inspired nature, we're probably not aligning with people like that in the world because we don't believe in ourselves, or we're belittling ourselves, or, whatever. And so then it opens the door for people who are in shadowy kind of energy, because it's kind of like, this whole idea that we manifest our reality into existence. Everybody could be living kind of like in parallel universes in the world at the same time, because we all perceive life differently based on what we believe about ourselves. And the different people who we will let into our life and work with in our life will depend on what we align with within ourselves. And the whole purpose of it, you could listen to some near-death experience videos, which I have some of those linked below in the video commentary underneath the video. That this whole thing is like life is a simulation. We're just kind of like the divine and energy that came here to live in this matrix, kind of to see if we would believe in ourselves and love ourselves and choose truth and love, or would we get caught up in our fear and our insecurity? Would we not believe in ourselves? And we'll draw in and attract people into our life that come into our life for us to learn lessons about ourselves. What is their truth compared to my truth? What do they believe about relationships versus what I believe about relationships? How do they think is just and fair to act in relationships? What do I think is just and fair? And we can get in relationships with our own thinking can imprison us. And then we can get in relationships with people who try to limit us and restrict us. And it's like, is this your dream or is this not your dream? And it gives us the opportunity to decide, what do I want to manifest? Do I want to keep manifesting this? Or am I concerned emotionally about the action I'm taking in the world? And am I willing to connect in with my more emotionally loving, intuitive nature to go down a different path? And the people who right now aren't doing that, those people could have a dream in the future of change. Some people, I would interpret the child in the shadow energy. We all have our inner child nature, and some people's inner child nature is what's running their life, which could be they're more emotionally codependent, looking to other people to love them and nurture them, like they don't have to do the work within themselves to free themselves. No, other people are supposed to love me. It's kind of staying in that self-centered, egocentric way where They use their emotions manipulatively again to try to get other people to love them instead of them learning to break free and learning to love themselves. So they could hope that in the future that maybe someone who also has a lot of money and materialism will work together with them and like mother them with the privileged lady, which kind of reminds me of the Empress energy. You know, we're either codependent and we look outside of ourselves thinking that's where the answer lies. Oh, if those people just love me. Oh, if I indulge in these things in the world, that'll make it all go away. I'll feel better. It's like, no, we'll continue to be not seeing the truth that we are meant to put in the work and effort to free ourselves from our more fearful, insecure, codependent nature. We are meant to empower ourselves, because otherwise we're disempowered. We're looking outside of ourselves for the answer. Do you value me? Do you think I have worth and value? Will you love me? You know, we're meant to learn to love ourselves, to fill our own cup, to know our worth and value, to appreciate ourselves, to be more independent in the world instead of dependent on the world and other people in the world to validate our worth and value. If other people don't validate our worth and value and other people kick us to the curb and throw us under the bus, are we going to stay there? Do we know our worth and value? Do we realize that there's people in the world who are also in shadow energy, that in order to feel powerful, they throw people under the bus and kick them to the curb because they're not empowered? And so again, when you don't people who are empowered and aligned with love, they don't build their self-esteem on belittling other people, insulting other people, trying to make themselves feel better than other people. You know, it's about, I choose to love and believe in myself. Everybody else can live their life whatever way they want. Everybody's got free will, you know, but I'm not going to let people in my life who want to take and steal from me. You know, relationships are supposed to be about equal give and take and love and justice and fairness and loyalty and commitment and patience and kindness and all those good things. You know, you can live your life whatever way you want, but I won't, you know, see you out in the world. I'll be kind and respectful, but I'm not going to get in a relationship and invest a lot of time and energy in you because you're selfish or you're greedy or you're self-centered or you're manipulative or you're prideful and egotistical, you know? And people like that kind of like to trap people in relationships for their own kind of self-centered, competitive, selfish, greedy reasons. It's not about love. And sadly, there's some people in the world who maybe don't think that they're supposed to have to learn to love themselves, like that's someone else's job. Some people could be very egocentric and self-centered, and they think people are just supposed to love them and enable them like they're a child, like maybe their family did growing up. But I think we align with our more inner, hopeful, believing inner child nature, being bold and creative and inspired in life, or we align with our more shadowy, immature, indulgent child nature. And I think there's some people in shadow energy who are aligned with their more worldly nature and wanting to be indulged in the world. And it looks like it's all about money and materialism. And they're hoping that someone in the future will be willing to work together with them. Interesting. Let's go get some clarifiers on this. Tell us about the Thief card. the Five of Swords, the Fool, and the Seven of Pentacles because of the Four of Pentacles. Yeah. Someone who is in shadowy energy has mental conflict about taking risks in life, being willing to go on an adventure, make their life about love, and investing in that. They cling more to their worldly nature. The Four of Pentacles is Capricorn energy, and in shadow, that can be people who don't open up, don't work well together with others, cling to old ways of being, cling to worldliness, could be selfish and greedy. The Five of Swords, Aquarius energy and shadow can be people who don't see life from a higher perspective. Life is all about the world and ego and image and status and pride and ego. And they have lessons to learn about that. So they're a fool for those things. And that's what they're really drawn to and attracted to, because they have a lot of lessons to learn. We are drawn and attracted towards things because there's lessons to be learned there, and sometimes we've lived enough life that even though we're drawn and attracted towards things, it was like, nope, been there and done that. I learned that lesson already and I ain't doing it again. Some people have not learned their lessons yet, and they keep being kind of more focused, maybe. Shadowy Aquarius energy can be about being self-centered, wanting to be the center of attention, wanting to be in relationships where you're the center of attention and everyone orients around you. Everyone else puts aside their pride and ego but them. Or just being very worldly focused and wanting to look like a shining star in the world, really successful in the world. And that's what drives and motivates them. And they have lessons to learn. They're not willing to invest in holding back from that nature within themselves and taking a risk to invest in high vibe Capricorn energy, where you put work and effort into freeing yourself from your more worldly, ego, selfish, greedy, impulsive nature, and you learn lessons in life and become free of those things. The people that are in the thief energy right now, which some of you left in your past, are people that still have a lot of lessons about putting in work and effort to free themselves from their more worldly or egoic view of life. So, you freed yourself. Tell us about the prison card. You had to work through your own fears and insecurities, not to be foolish to keep aligning with people like that, even though, it might appear to the world like it's very successful with the Aquarius star there. It's like, oh my gosh, they've had their dream come into reality. What a successful job or relationship they have. And you're like, I kind of feel imprisoned in this relationship because the person I'm in a relationship isn't willing to invest in holding back from their more impulsive, foolish ways of being. And they take foolish risks in this relationship. And they're kind of seem to have mental conflict about love and getting out of their more fearful or egotistical way of life. Yeah. You felt imprisoned because this wasn't your dream relationship. Maybe because people lacked, the people that were kind of in shadowy energy lack hope and faith and belief in others. They lack hope and faith and belief in love. Or they just don't see life from a higher perspective. And this was not your dream relationship. And in the Three of Wands, you had been thinking your dream was going to come into reality because someone had presented themselves to you as being in high vibe Cancer energy, that they're all about love and home and family. And you found out that they don't want to step outside of societal norms to have hope and faith and belief in love. They're more maybe about thinking their dreams can come into reality without seeing life from a higher perspective, without making it all about status and image and money and materialism. And it's like, and you were just supposed to indulge them and be happy in a relationship with them. And you're like, I don't want to be imprisoned in a relationship and be in a relationship where it's more about you taking and me giving. I thought we were on the same page. I thought we both were about giving freely, to be loving, and giving is a free will choice. And you found out some people, that's not their idea of a relationship. It was more about presenting an illusion so you would give to them emotionally. So tell us about the message of concern. Your intuition was telling you to get out of this situation, and you took action to listen to your intuition. Two of Pentacles. Your intuition was telling you that this person was juggling and not really investing. Seven of Pentacles is about investing. That they were juggling about really investing from a foundation of love in this relationship. They were happy the way it was. They get to be in their pride and ego, kind of being self-centered and selfish and greedy and not opening up and not working cooperatively together. And you said, this is not my dream relationship. I'm going to pick up my investment within this dream, and I am going to find my own balance and invest in myself being balanced, so I don't tip in competitive energy or negative emotional energy of sadness, fear, anger, whatever. It's not a foundation to build your life on. You put work and effort into no longer feeling left out in the cold by this person. You invested in yourself and you detach from them. And even though you had to go through a period of feeling maybe out in the cold because of that, you kept investing and maintaining your balance, and you're going down a pathway. Let's go see what the pathway is. The Page of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, because of Eight of Pentacles. You went within. The Eight of Pentacles is Virgo energy. You went within to gain insight and wisdom about, to free yourself. You went within to gain insight and wisdom about, the only person get out here. Bella, get out here. The only person that we should try to control, and the only person we ultimately do have control over, is ourself. So you did work within yourself to work through your own fears and insecurities so that you could connect in with your more youthful, hopeful, believing nature and maintain your balance and invest time, energy, and effort into investing in the future. Seeing the truth about the past. The Virgo energy goes within to gain the insight and wisdom that they needed to be able to move forward in their life. Not being an illusion, not letting your fear or your competitive nature or your ego nature cloud your judgment. To go within and put in the work and effort to see the truth. People have free will. They can either choose to be open and honest and loving and just and fair, or they don't. And they take a foolish risk because they want things to be their way. And if that's the type of relationships they want, where they get to be bossy and controlling, or they get to be indulged in a relationship, or they make their life about ego or image or materialism, go at it. You got free will. I'm not an illusion about it anymore. That is not the way I want to live my life. So peace. I'm moving on. The Page of Cups is wishing peace to the past. We view life differently. You are motivated and inspired by things different than what I'm motivated and inspired by. And I see the truth. It doesn't say anything about my worth and value. It doesn't have to say anything about your worth and value. The divine made all these people that have all these different things that they can choose to do because we all can learn from each other. We can see how different people live their life. And it's like, oh, yeah, no, I don't want to go down that path. Or, wow, I want to go down that path. We're here to manifest whatever we want to manifest into reality. We have free will. So peace. I'm moving on. You're going down a different path. As you're going down your path, there's going to be other people who've done the same work within themselves that you've done, and they are going to want to be in friendships and relationships and work environments with you because they have also freed themselves from the past and their more ego, worldly driven nature. They've seen the truth that life's about love and believing in themselves, and they are the people that you'll align with going forward. Let's go check out the people in shadowy energy. Tell us about the child energy here. Maybe it just means that some people are, because we would look at life as being more evolved and being giving and loving and not conforming to society, because society, that's what shadow energy can be about too, is conforming to the world and making your life all the things about the world. Well, the things about the world can be that, if you have money and materialism, we give you a stamp of success and you get applauded and all these things. But people can be selfish and greedy and manipulative and hurtful. We see it on the news all the time about people who have money or power and they abuse their power. And they're atrocious, awful people, but the world still gives them a stamp of success. So that's why people that align with their more shadowy nature would be people who aren't taking a more enlightened path and adhering to a higher truth and justice. But we have to believe, I guess, it all serves a purpose. So we get the Eight of Pentacles. But they would be harnessing their Eight of Pentacles in a more shadowy way, where it is more about their long-term goal. The Eight of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy, which is also the Knight of Pentacles energy, is to become a King of Pentacles. In high vibe, it's people who've went within and learned lessons in life and they've grown and matured themselves. In shadow is people who want to look like they're king of the world, that have status and image, and people should look up and admire them because they have that status and image or wealth. High vibe people don't want people to look up and admire them because they have a status and image or money. They don't even care if people look up to them, admire them. What other people think when you're in an enlightened position is, I'm going to live my life out of love and offer love and respect to other people. Because people can be fickle. If you build your sense of worth and value based on if people look up and admire you, what if next week, everybody decides in the world, we hate those people. Those are the people we're discriminating against today. Boo, hiss, So you don't even make your life about those things. But people that are in shadow energy are really pretty driven by those things. Those people are putting in work and effort because they are inspired to take action in their life more from pride and ego. We either see the truth, that it's about love, or we think, because we get hurt doing that. And some people just don't want to be vulnerable. And so they've decided they think they know better, and they move forward in pride and ego. And they could be very competitive in the world because the Five of Wands, Leo energy also means that. So they might want to focus on putting work and effort to be very competitive in the world. Or in their ego to make other people feel like they need to compete for them. Well, that's not very loving. If you love people, you certainly don't try to make your children or anybody in your life, you don't try to make people feel like they've got to fight for your attention, like you're something special and you don't give your attention, just to any old person. If there are people in your life that you're supposed to present to the world like you have a loving relationship with them, but you're stubborn and prideful and competitive and causing other people inner conflict, and maybe put work and effort into causing other people inner conflict so you feel powerful, that's a false sense of empowerment. And when people no longer have inner conflict about you putting in work and effort to cause them conflict, those people move on. And then the people who felt powerful because of all the conflict and competition they caused in everyone, and then those people get over it and free themselves and move on, well, then I guess they can feel really disempowered then, because they're no longer manipulating and trying to control other people to feel a sense of feeling powerful. Tell us about the mature woman they want to get in a relationship with. And again, that could be someone emotionally, well, for some it could be a feminine who has money. For others, they could be hoping to emotionally manipulate someone who's emotionally loving and abundant so that they will work with them so that they'll be surrounded by luxury in life and indulge in a relationship. Oh, are you really abundant and loving? Cool, let me try to manipulate you. And shadowy people try to approach people like that all the time because they love to be in a relationship that they can take from and suck off of, you know? Oh, look how loyal and committed you are. That's great. You keep doing that. Oh, me? Not so much. But you, that's great. Do you not believe in yourself? Perfect. Get in a relationship with me. Do you have some self-doubt? Do you not believe you can give birth to something new and you kind of don't believe in yourself? Perfect. Let's get in a relationship. The world, the Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Cups, and the Four of Wands because of the Queen of Swords. They're hoping that sometime in the future, there is going to be someone who feels betrayed, either by the world or because a relationship ended. And that could be when they think fortune will turn in their favor, that person isn't believing in themselves, or that person had someone ignore their love offer, and then they can get in a relationship with them. Perfect. The people that are in shadowy energy who are very competitive and have inner conflict about putting work and effort to free themselves from their more shadowy ways of living life, they're waiting and watching in their emotional energy, mentally strategizing. I'm just waiting for someone to experience an ending or not believe in themselves anymore. And when that happens, that's when I'm going to move in and try to get in a relationship with them again. Because either they have money and materialism and I want to be in a relationship with them for money and materialistic reasons, or they are a loving, nurturing person. And if something happens where they feel kind of defeated in life, I'm going to swoop in there and try to get them to indulge me in a relationship. So there we go, Cancer energy. The shadowy people are hoping to use their emotions manipulatively and prey on people that experience an ending in their life. Maybe for some of them, there's someone they want to be in a relationship, but that person's already in a different relationship and they're waiting for that relationship to end and this person to be sad. And then they're going to swoop in there to try to get in a relationship with them again. Well, I think we've about covered it. Let's look at the happy, loving people. And you could be in relationships here. It's just some people in your life who are kind of selfish or foolish or wanting to be the center of attention. You kick those people out of your life, and you and the people you are moving forward with in life are, putting in work and effort, wishing them peace. 9 of Cups because of the 2 of Wands. You're investing in your dreams because 9 of Cups is Pisces energy. And, I thought we had that on the board, but no. You're investing in being happy within yourself, filling your own cup, being in relationships with other people who know how to fill their own cup, not people who are emotionally independent, not people who are takers, not people who are immature. You want to be in relationships with people who are emotionally self-sovereign, happy within themselves so they don't make decisions out of selfishness and greed and pride and ego and emotional manipulation. People who have not given up on their dreams, who actually still believe in love, and you're investing in being fulfilled within yourself, working with other people who are bold and brave and confident in love, and that's who you're focused on. And the people that are in shadowy energy are keeping an eye out to see who they can prey upon next and emotionally manipulate, because they're very competitive and they're really in their ego. And they really could be competitive in the world, and they really want to look successful in the world. And they don't want to put in the work and effort to believe in themselves, to believe they can manifest it. So they're trying to find someone who will either fill their cup emotionally, or someone who will fill their pockets with money, one or the other. So there you go, Cancer energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.